Hey, spin a little something, what you gonna do with a little money? Drop a little something, what you gonna do with a little money? Take a little something.
Play
No.
games. That was actually kind of not solid. The last episode played better. Working on my vocals. So we are Play No Games, the relationship matchmaking podcast, and we have a very, very special episode today. It's Valentine's Day, and it's Black Men Don't Cheat. So we have some guests here today, but before we get into the guests, it's your one and only Casanova, aka the Real Hitch, Bob Gill, Rob on the mic, and then we have
His co-partner, partner in crime, the Robin to his Batman. Haas.
We work on these intros. And today, before we get started, we have we actually have more guests. We have the one and only, get on over here. We have behind the camera our main man, Junior.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself, my good man.
What up? I'm Junior. I'm the behind the scenes guy. Nobody really knows about me, but I'll be around all the time.
There we go.
Off the rip, that was all up.
He's helped us so much in many places and many videos. Please show him love. We'll definitely tag you on the video and things like that. But yeah, glad to have your face on here, pal.
Yeah, I'm finally happy to be in front of the camera. I don't get too often.
Yeah, he's in the Eugene branch. See, we big time like that.
Right, we got different branches. More or less, I was in Portland and decided to get an education for one time, and so I left for a little bit.
But before we get into our small promos and things like that, now, without further ado, yes, our guest. I don't need to introduce anything. You know what? Fuck it. Who's that down there?
I'm Basualdo. What else am I? I mean, you had a cool,
Well,
Cass. I thought when you were saying Casanova it was him, but because he's Cass and Cause.
It gets me every time.
Yeah,
It gets me every time.
I'm Basualdo. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and let's embark on an auditory journey.
Yeah. And then we have, he didn't interrupt me, so I got an introduction for this guy. He's a faithful black man, just letting y'all know, faithful out here. And he's got his business degree from Western Oregon.
That's correct, yeah.
He's a highly intelligent entrepreneur in our community. He's got some special things coming up pretty soon. But I just want to let y'all, but I want to introduce my main man. Y'all know him on the streets as J-Mac, but I know one woman who knows him as Jamal. But we got J-Mac here on the air.
Hey man, how y'all doing? I'm good. I'm good tonight. So let's get it in. There we go.
So
Wait, before we get too invested, Oswaldo, do you want to come to your left a little bit so you're more in the camera?
Oh man,
We got to get everybody in.
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm used to being you. I'm used to being behind the camera.
Exactly.
So before we go,
Shameless plug.
plugs. Bam, look at these. These are quality socks. We ain't playing no games. Please touch them. Please. Yo,
These are soft and they're sturdy too.
Yo, look, please. These are not just random socks. Hey, thank you.
These are
Yo,
sturdy.
can we get promos? Like, bro, and this is no cap because we have them all. Yo, bro, you are touching athletic, socks. Those are the dry fit kind, bro.
These are sturdy.
Yo,
It's like shirt socks. You
Right.
literally got a little nice suit on. You got Easter and all that.
Yo, it's Valentine's Day. Get your girl and yourself something matching. And if y'all want to help me get out my things, help us get out, more of the app and things like that. But we got the for real ones. Thank you. Please. And then we have our brand socks. These are 13 because of the quality, and these are 12. And these are meant to last a long way. Hand designed by our man right here. There'll be in our big cartel. We'll tag that in the video. But without further ado, we're gonna hop into it, and we're gonna start today's episode. And what is basically gonna be titled is "Black Men Don't Cheat."
Never do.
Exactly. And the reason why we're calling it that is kind of like a Valentine's Day edition, when it is talking about the perspectives of like men who have been dating and they've embarked on the journey of getting married. But before we
Shut her ring off.
we ain't got the production to get the close up, but that's a nice ring. But I primarily want to have these guys on to talk about a bigger conversation about dating, marriages, how they in their own rights and their cultures and things like that have experienced that, and then overall just some mental health. But we're gonna start right off the bat with something light, something simple, or
Good.
Ease us into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone here at this table that I've brought in is in a long-term relationship. Would you like to say a little more about that? Bro, I'm not. Anywho, yes. Would you all like to give like a relationship background of yourselves?
Start it off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been with my girl for 8, almost 9 years.
Ooh,
So we
long
got
term,
time.
long
We
term.
got time. She saw me as a young pup. Now I'm a grown man, but it's been good. Ups and downs, like any relationship. But at the end of the day, it's all about love, and I'll keep it there for now. We'll go a little deeper, but let's keep it surface level right now.
Remember, they're gonna see this.
Oh yeah.
Love it, girl.
Been with my girl 5 years. We've been married 4 months. Met in college. Did the long distance, however long distance Portland
Really?
Gene is.
Oh,
It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. I got
If
it.
you're really pushing an hour 45.
Yeah.
Hour 45.
Yeah.
y'all
I'm
okay?
back
When I
at
miss
hour
her.
45.
Hour.
Yeah. Right.
Like when I miss her, hour 10. But yeah, we just been together and got married. And people always, we'll get deeper. People always say like it changes from boyfriend girlfriend to marriage. I haven't noticed it, but it's still early, so who knows?
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Also, I hate to cut you off, brother, but how could I forget? Been engaged as well for some months now, so I can't forget that at all. But
Better start referring to her as wife. You're early. And
it took me forever to say fiance, honestly. Like forever. It just didn't click to me last. Like, oh, that's my girlfriend. Wait, hold on, that's my fiance now. But now it's like second nature.
You in trouble for that?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. But
oh man, for me it was different. I started calling her wife on like day one I met her.
Dang.
So
you knew.
yeah, you feel it.
Y'all stop this. I have questions about this. Stop this. Stop this. Yo, for this point in time, because the real reason that I'm called this is like theme is Black Men Don't Cheat is because there's a stigma about like dudes where it's kind of like dudes are dogs and dudes are not faithful. I actually really thought it was really dope that you were talking about how you was a young pup, and I'm not trying to say, and by George, I'm not saying this because I know y'all don't know y'all relationship. Not saying that y'all reformed dogs, but it's like y'all have, from how I've known y'all, and the reason why I really invited y'all on because y'all have always been emotionally intelligent dudes. And like that's what we're trying to play up is because there's a lot more of that out there. And like you even said, yo, like off the rip, you're like, I knew. I was calling her wifey off the bat. And that's why I kind of want to bring that more to light. But
I would say that came with age, though, right? I mean, you met her in college.
Yeah.
I met my girl when I was, 16, 17.
Y'all grew
Not in
together.
the mental mindset to be like, okay, that's a wifey. That's more of like okay, this is a quick fling. It won't last long, but then, when you realize you got something good, it might take time, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, she's putting up with my nonsense, whatever. She's not trying to change me. I wanted to change for her. And that's like a big step to me, but it took me some time mentally to get there as I got older. So I feel like probably beat me to that punch already.
Actually, no, I was the complete opposite. When the day I met her, I was messing with another girl. And I met my now wife through another friend. Like, she's my sister, basically, right?
Yeah.
And we met. And after I met her, I left her apartment because they were having like a barbecue, and I left. In the car, I texted the girl I was dealing with, like, hey, I met someone I like. I'm going to try to make things work out with her. If they don't, I'll be back to you.
Wow.
You are bold. You are bold.
Yes. I developed it when I was 24, but continue. Yes. Yes. Yes.
She didn't believe me, like the girl I was dealing with, and I just never talked to her again. But even though I had said that, I never thought like, oh, this is gonna be a long-term thing. I always told our mutual friend that, you know what, because of you, I'll like date her through the summer, because we met in May. I'm like, I'll date her through the summer and I'll let her down easy, right? 5 years later, still married.
He was plotting.
Plotting. But pretty much like where you're going is that exactly where I want to take it. Where, you know, metaphorically, I want y'all to put your rings on the table, and emotional intelligence for dudes. Like, a lot of dudes struggle to talk about, like, yeah, I was like this, I went through this, I changed, I did those things. So there was definitely a time where these gentlemen were off the market and not with their significant others. So
Absolutely.
could y'all speak on, you know, y'all dating life before y'all found yo boo?
Take this one.
My dating life was a mess. It was not leading this one on, not being too serious with this one, thinking this one wants too much at the same time, hearing the words boyfriend and like cringing, being like, I don't want to be that. Embarrassing story. There was a time there was a young lady I was speaking to, and she was
I like your word choice.
Stay out of trouble. But we were speaking in private. And when she attempted to confront me in public as the person she's speaking to, I froze up and pretended that I was my own twin brother. I was that much not ready for a relationship.
Miss I tell you?
When I like straight poker face, she's like, "Hey, what's all?" I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna be sitting with my brother." She looked at me because it's like, as the person speaking to her, I'd never mentioned a twin brother, but we were in a public place where it was like, you there for the there's other fish that I want to fish at.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just like, don't talk to me right now. And then because of that, she eventually caught on. But my dating life was rough. It was just what you were taught, you know. I mean, from youth onwards, it's conquest. How many? Get the better one. This one's not good enough. This one's not good enough. I wasn't necessarily looking for emotional fulfillment. It was pure physical, frivolous, you're here for now, by tomorrow I forgot about you. And it took a lot to change through that. It was self-work. It was getting heartbreak when you thought you're ready, you get your heart broken and you're like, oh, that's how the people I did that to feel. And you grow through that and decide, okay, let me work on myself, and then step out there again and go through the cycle again, and then eventually find someone. How about yourself, young sir?
Man, my dating life, I was the opposite. I was always looking for a relationship. I'm not the type to like just talk to a whole bunch of girls, mess around a whole bunch of girls. That was never me. So like when I didn't find that, I was like, okay, maybe I should just start being, you know, a dog. I was like, that's not me. I could never do that. Yeah, I was always like the nice guy. I'm too nice, and I got curved hella.
Oof.
Yeah, that is very relatable to myself.
I
can relate to that, yeah.
Definitely got curved hella, but you know, once I realized like, okay, I got a good one in front of me, I actually didn't know it until like years later. Like, oh wait, she's still around. Okay, like I was alluding to earlier, like she put up with my nonsense because, like you mentioned, like okay, just talk to her for a little bit, be done. When I first met her, I was like, okay, she's bad and everything, but again, I'm like 17 years old, so I'll probably talk for a little bit, like I did with other people. Just end, but it never really ended. Just kept going and going. saying I was the best boyfriend in the world. I would never speak those words. Never.
Why he like backtracking like she gonna say some shit? After some shit. So you said that to me? You see that?
Oh man.
No, to be real, I was not the best boyfriend. I would never ever portray to be that. I'm not. I'm a work in progress every single day.
Yo, that is clippable right there. I'm a work in progress, like both of y'all. See, that's the shit. Like,
it's work. Like being in a committed, serious, hey, I'm going to build with you relationship is work, and part of being quote unquote a dog, it's hard to categorize myself as that. Part of being, I'll call myself unserious prior to my wife. Serious. Part of being an unserious partner was I didn't want to do that work. I didn't want to be on the initial lust and the initial like I'm really attracted to you. Let's hit it off. All my lies sound amazing to you. Yours sound great to me. Once you get past the 2-3 weekends of that, it becomes work. And when I was 20, like 18, 19, 17, I didn't want to do that work. I didn't think it was necessary. And thank my lucky stars for saving me from what would have turned out to be horrible situations if I just put lust first.
Yeah. Before y'all wreck my plans, y'all just being faithful asses.
If you want to get to the stories, we'll get there. Trust me.
Oh,
I'm gonna sit this one out. No, like you were saying though, like relationships are not easy. I have people tell me, "Oh, I want what y'all had." You don't know what it took for us to get to that point. A lot of long nights, a lot of long hours of just texting, just back and forth. It's like I don't want to relive that again. So I just realized, put my big boy pants on. Like I need to be faithful. I need to be X, Y, and Z. I need to tell her how I'm really feeling. And
that's the hard part.
Because I don't want to talk about my emotions 9 times out of 10. To this day, I still don't want to. But it's like you have to do that if you want to build with somebody and put that ring on. Because that ring is not coming off once it's on. Yep. Simple as that.
Like what he said about saying your emotions, it's not just that. It's I harken back to when I was single. My emotions came easy. I didn't care how they were going to make you feel. As long as I got it out, it could make you feel like absolute crap. That's not my concern. But now if I'm feeling something, I got to take a step back and say, if I come out and say this, not necessarily have to lie to her or sugarcoat it, but there's a method to effectively communicate with someone you care about. So you don't want to just word vomit on them everything you're feeling, and then you're feeling relieved, like,
I feel great.
I got it out. And then you're looking here, you made your partner miserable, and that in itself becomes a bigger fight than what you felt bad about. And kind of like J-Max said, when people say, oh, your goals, it's like, you don't know how many times I was at work and we're in the middle of an argument and I'm taking like 92 bathroom breaks, or I got a final coming up. Yo, you got a final coming up. You're trying to like memorize the chemical equations and you can't, because it's like, we gotta get through this fight. And for me, she was an hour away, so it's not like I could just. It's not like I could just drive there, have the face-to-face combo. Because once you see them face-to-face, you kind of get through that. But doing the final and knowing it's just that's not goals.
And even with texting, a lot of context gets lost in it. It's really about word choice. You're good at that, clearly. But it's really like how you deliver the message, not really what you're saying. You can still get your point across, be upset, have that anger, but it's really about how you come across it and how you actually word it. And it took me a very long time to realize that word choice is very important. Because for me, I'm straight to the point. It's like, okay, I'm not holding back. Like, I'm about to say all of this, like you said, I got it out, I feel good, but now you feel bad, or even vice versa,
I've heard so many times, Robert, you just don't know what you're saying. I'm just like, look here. Never mind, I can't say that, but yeah.
And even sometimes, like, just bite the bullet, take the L, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
I've taken so many L's.
Yo,
So many.
I got some shit for that, but
Listen, for me,
alright.
because my wife, you and her have the same education degrees, and you guys have the same everything. She has her autism.
Oh, she's a therapist?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
My girl too.
Yours too, yeah. So she actually taught me in a way how to, because there's times where I would do something and I'm like, she's gonna be pissed and I'm gonna like get hit with the wrath of God. And then she approaches me and she still gets across what's going on. I'm like, I don't feel too bad about myself. It's like, it's a blessing that all of us have someone who knows how to communicate through love, but still get the point across without making you feel like, well, I'm just the worst partner ever.
But there are times that still go bad at me though.
Ooh.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, we have a superpower, and like, don't get me wrong, we can use it for evil. Like, we really can, because like, I don't know, I feel, speaking as a therapist, it's like really like, when you have someone who's like emotionally and vulnerable, like literally, they're like, what is he gonna say next? And I'm like, if I say this, I can emotionally manipulate this person to do what I want them to do.
Isn't that so fun? Emotional manipulation. Oh, no.
It literally is the, you know, I think you just can't take that for granted. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. You just can't take it for granted. I don't do that in my relationships. I don't. I feel like when people figure out that I'm like a full-fledged therapist as a guy, they're like, oh my gosh, you're trying to get married to me today. No.
People really think that?
Yes. Dating as a therapist, and we're not going to get off of that about me, is like, I usually around like date 4 or 5, I usually like lie about like what my profession is, because if I say like I'm a therapist, they get weird, and then when I say I'm a marriage and couples counselor, that's my specialty, they're like,
oh, that's scary, isn't it? For
Very.
them? Because it's kind of like they see you as a pro relationship person. Like, you're a professional at relationships. In a way, your education has allowed you to kind of master the missteps that us non-therapists do. I mean,
I truly use the power for good.
But I think your role is important though, because as society in whole, men in general, like you mentioned earlier, we don't talk about our emotions.
Yeah.
At all. And then even women, sometimes they're not the best about expressing themselves either.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, when you have a therapist that's really and willing to talk about everything they're going through, you know, X, Y, and Z, whatever, how bad it is, how good it is, it's going to come out somehow.
Yeah. No, facts. So I actually have some questions, because y'all the old heads in the room, and me and this guy over here, you know, we're
newly relationship.
And I want to open up the floor really quick, because I want to give y'all a pause and a break before we get into some more spicy stuff, you know, about, you know, the secret of marriages, what be really going on. Cos, because you always hear me.
Yeah.
You always tell you. For my birthday, I told you, we had a section, you know, go over there, holla, and let them know that we out here for real intent, gang, gang. I want you to ask off the rip some of these old heads about like some of the things, or just ask me anything about like dating, like what you should be doing right now.
From my 21-year-old perspective?
Yes.
Okay.
You's a baby.
I am a baby, yeah. I actually found your story really interesting, J-Mac, because I'm assuming the first girl you loved, you're now engaged to, right?
Yeah.
Put me on the spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You better say yes.
No,
Yeah, you know we said yeah.
I mean, to be
Lie if
honest,
you need to.
I mean, was she the first girl I loved?
Mm-hmm.
No, she knows that.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie here. No, she was not. No.
All right. I guess because that's something I kind of run into sometimes, because the first serious relationship I had, I did fall in love with her, and then I haven't had a relationship since then. So I feel like I've kind of been in this drought, and I've been struggling because I am a nice guy. I get burned a lot. I get stood up a lot. I get ghosted a lot. So I guess then jumping to you, how can I be a little more of a dog. It's insane that I'm
It's
the
a
resident.
trap question.
It's insane that I became the residential dog in the room. Not.
He's a faithful. Black men don't cheat. He's faithful.
I am. I have always been. I mean, I've always been honest with women. You know, like brutal honesty. I've never told her, oh, we're exclusive. I tell my wife now, I'm like, you know, it's a joke. I'm like, you know, you're like my first love, and we made it work. She's like, I've heard about you. And all her friends told her to not date me because of my history, and still convince her. But in a way, as you're dating, you have to be vulnerable, but you have to put yourself first. So if you meet her and off the rip, you get the feeling of, I'm being played with.
Yeah.
Bounce. Like, I've been blessed to travel a lot, and I hope this doesn't come across as misogynistic as it sounds in my head. I kind of tell people men are the prize. Like, always view yourself as a man as you're the prize.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the ladies. Babe, when you hear this, I view you as the prize, too.
There you go.
But as a dude, you'll see when you as a man, you see yourself as the prize, you're gonna search for and attract a woman who also is self-confident. Like, a lot of the women that burn dudes is they're hurting. And they're hurting from guys like my past who
Dog him.
Yeah, for lack of a better word.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah, that was me. And they don't want you to do that. And because the way that, now I never did this because I was honest, but I've seen it with a lot of male friends that they pretend to be that nice guy.
Yeah.
And then they burn them. So it's not an indictment on you when they burn you. It's just they're protecting themselves to the max. And a girl who does that, it's not somebody you need to be with, man. Trust me.
But it's like, I feel like everyone like has their guard up in a way too. I mean, you're dating in the social media era. I was blessed not to have to deal with any of that. None of those apps or anything, because you never know someone's real intention. So
Well,
it's like,
time for a shameless plug. For Real Intent, the app that really bases things off intentions. Word of the day, buzz, 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 continue.
so it's like you have to realize someone's intent. Find their for real intent.
Wow.
The app.
Buy the socks.
We planned this.
But it's like, honestly, it's like everyone has their guard up. Like, once you can let your guard down a little bit, be vulnerable. You know, just it's weird because like I really don't know exactly how the social media era works. Like, I don't know what apps to go to, and like, you know, how you get their number or whatnot, being a first date and all that. But I feel like the first date you might just kind of put it out there a little bit, you know, and kind of fish. If they bite the hook, you know, just reel it in a little bit, reel it in. Okay, maybe they're trying to play little games. Okay, let the line sink out a little more. Reel it back in. I fish a little bit, but
That's hilarious.
You taught me about fishing.
There you go. No, it's really interesting actually, because I didn't really think about that until like my sister, who's Robert's age, brought up like, it sucks for me to date in the social media era. I'm gonna be honest, like I'll use a Tinder, and that has its own rules. Then I'll use a Bumble, which that has its own rules. Where like, you know, with Bumble, it's like, oh, the girl will message you first. Well, only if you hit the extend on them after 24 hours after you match with them.
hey, look at
That
this.
sounded like you were speaking a whole nother language.
Yeah, no. And let me tell you, you can't just like, unless you're a very successful man with a blue check, it's hard to go straight into a girl's like DMs on Instagram and be like, hey, you want to get coffee?
No, it ain't.
Hey,
No, it ain't.
Hey, look at this, though.
I
I gotta-
shouldn't be saying this. It's.
You don't think so?
I think if I tell you my dating story, I don't know if you have time for that. It might be a story of hope because I met my girl by accident, and I told you first day I met her, called her wife, saved my phone number and her phone as boyfriend. Our first date was a travesty because we showed up to the place. I didn't look up the hours; it was closed. I
love this dude.
It's such a beautiful love story, though.
I love this dude.
because
I do.
it was
2020.
yeah, it was a and the first day I met her, right? She told me I was feeling you, but
Are you good back there?
you good? Hey, the
You
story's
crying?
that powerful. The story's that powerful. The first day I met her, she wanted me to stay with them and watch a movie. You want to know what I said?
What'd you say?
I'm gonna go hang out with my boy. We're gonna go to Corvallis because there's some hoes out there. Like I told my current wife the first day I met her that I'm gonna go look for other women.
Are bold. Got that.
Old.
So you can't plan love because she's the blessing of my life. I love her. I like. Once we get to infidelity, I'll give you the exact reason why that doesn't even come across. But part of it is not searching for it. It's just being you, having fun, and you can do it. You don't need the blue check. Yo, let's get coffee. She's either gonna answer or she's not. Most of the times they're not, but the one that does, it's an experience and just
See,
be
look,
you.
I tell my friends this. I have very little friends that are single. I'm like, hey, go to the gym. Hey, what workout are you doing? Can you show me how you do that? No, that's good, bro. It's going to work.
Listen,
It's
man.
going to
Go
work.
holler at Chief at the gym.
Go to the
Don't
store.
do it at the gym.
Go to the store. Be like,
Store.
excuse me, ma'am, is that parsley or kale?
Listen,
Shit.
she's no.
Yes, that's going.
But you know what's crazy? I can't give you advice because now, where do people go? I haven't been to the club in forever, and even when I went, I'm like super weird. I used to go to the club with my own headphones on and just like people watch because human behavior in the club is hilarious to me.
Amazing.
So I don't
I'm in
even
a club
have.
at 10:30, out by 12:30.
Okay, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
He is. Oh, faithful.
Like,
Faithful ass.
I honestly don't know how someone would manage a serious relationship in the social media era. Like, to find someone?
That's the easy part, but to keep it.
Yeah, it's
We've got a boy over here who's in a serious relationship in the social media era. 5 years, right? Or 4 years?
We're going on our fourth right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pre-social media, isn't it?
Kinda. So what happened was is that we started talking sophomore year of high school, and then she her friend said that I was a bad guy, playing around, which wasn't right, which wasn't happening at all. Her friend was just always super jealous about anything she was doing, and they're not friends anymore. But that's kind of what I was running into. And then we just stopped talking. We just never talked because she started saying stuff about how she was talking to a new guy and how she wants to be fair to this guy. But I was like, you just put me on pause like that, that's crazy. So come senior year, she slides into my DMs with this huge apology because that was the only thing I didn't have her blocked on at the time. And so she slides in and chops up this whole apology letter, and here we are 4 years later, pretty much. And I mean, for us, our first 6 months was long term because she was in Eugene, exactly like how yours was, and I just would go visit her as much as I could, and whenever she was home, I would kick it with her, and that's kind of how we just wrote it out.
No, you're the prize, man.
I mean,
Good luck.
There really gets to a point where you're just kind of while you were single, you're the prize, but once you find your actual prize, then that's just kind of how
You're both the prize.
exactly. So you
Just be confident,
confidence is
honestly.
key.
Yeah.
Like, I have more conversations with women that a married guy should have, if that makes sense. Not that I'm pursuing them.
In 25.
Hail Marys, Hail Mary. But no, me and my wife, she knows everything. She knows where I'm at. I can't hide anything from her because she's my best friend, and I wouldn't jeopardize what I have with her for anything else. But the sense I get from single women is the mature ones, once you run into them, you'll be much more happy.
Yes. That's what my sister keeps telling me too, and you, that I just gotta be patient.
I'm telling you.
I think I'm meeting too many girls that like to play too many games. Maybe I'm not looking at the right places.
Don't even look, just internalize. I'm gonna focus on being the best me, whatever that is to you. It's not what you think a woman thinks the best you is. It's whatever's best to you, and then find somebody who accepts that and who wants to help you grow in that, because that's what my wife did to me that made me completely fall in love with her. It was just here's who you are. I'm not gonna try to change you. You're a little rough around the edges. We're gonna soften those up, but I'm gonna help you elevate to be the best you that you can be. And
I think that's what it is right there. You just said it right there. The change part. My fiance never tried to change me one time. Not once. She tried to buffer me up a little bit, but she never tried to change me. I wanted to change for her, to be a better person for her.
Okay.
But plus, you got time. I mean, you're only 21. But at the end of the day, it's the right one's gonna come across. It's all about just getting them ultimately.
Yes. Yes.
Very cool.
And in the
Thank you guys.
meantime, have as much fun as you want, whatever that means to you.
Okay.
Have fun. Just live life, because you don't want to get into the relationship and be like, "Am I missing out on something?" Or I thought I was getting too far, but yeah.
No, dude, no.
You can
You
never.
can face the other way when you do that, Robert.
Yo.
You never, because that's kind of the pitfall of a lot of my guy friends I talk to. It's kind of like, oh, I'm with her, she's cool, but
She's bad, but what else though?
but what else is out there? I could get more. I could see this, and it's like the image that people are portraying is their customer service representative. Great customer service representative. They're giving you the best version of themselves, and when you see that, you're like, I have this person who I've seen their flaws. I've seen their soul completely naked, and I've seen the little taints. But that looks great right there. Just know that that's a crock of shit. Like, get it all out, find your person, and be happy with them. And it'll happen, man. It'll happen. There will be bumps. There'll be mistakes on both parts, but you'll be happy.
Thank you.
So, married guys, I actually really like the flow of this.
Yes.
Like, I really do. So many jewels. But I guess just getting it into, there's a couple things I want to ask you guys really quick. And I'm just curious, what's the secret? Because what I try to talk with any dude and things like that, because I definitely want to talk about mental health before we get out of here, things like that, for guys and wives. But you both have a strong foundation where, like, I know a little bit more about your situation. Like, we talk, I'm like, yo, y'all strong. Some of the shit you say, I know you have a strong ass foundation in your relationship.
We built it brick by brick.
Exactly. So I guess what I would want to know, and what you feel comfortable talking about, is what's the secret for y'all? How does your relationship work? Because y'all have similar foundations. You communicate, the acceptance, all those big things, and I don't want to go on my spiel. I just want to know, what's the secret? Help us out.
Honesty.
I say
Honesty.
there's two foundations: honesty, communication. Because communication is not just like, oh, I mastered communication. No, that's an every day, every second, every hour process.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna master communication. You can master honesty. You can master being honest, but communication is something you have to work on every day. That's really the building block and the foundation. Because once I was able to communicate, and then the second layer, be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we can start building that house. Now that foundation is laid. Let's build the house. Okay, we got this, we got that.
Yeah.
Let's put the roof on. I'm not saying the roof is the ring,
Mm.
but I would say that's a nice furniture piece like the house.
I like that.
Yeah. Ooh, the imagery. Whipping it
But,
up.
but yeah, something that is often hard to let go is, as a single dude, you kind of have to have some mystique to you to get the girl intrigued and kind of bait and hook, right? Because if she feels like she can see you and figure you out off one rib, it's like, why would I come back? Once you're in the relationship, get rid of that intrigue. It's to the side. Be open with this person. Hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing this, and this, and just lay it out. Hey, where were you? Oh, I was here. I'm a dude world. There's been times where you get asked an uncomfortable question, and the first thought is, how do I avoid it? But learning to live in that discomfort and being honest through it and communicate through it, that's where, like, you really get the foundation to be solid, to the point where it's like, somebody can say, oh, Lasolo said this, and without any context, you'll be like, oh, okay. That sounds wild to you, but I'm sure there was a context he said it in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't break that. And that's it. I mean, just
There you go.
But honestly, though, like, yeah, you can.
All right. We got, I like that. Honesty, acceptance. Well, what do you call it? Really quick, because I have so many men in the room. I definitely want to tash out a little bit of time before I ask and talk about some bonus stuff for the both of y'all.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be
Open
scared.
book, man. Open book.
When it comes to mental health, like I just wanted to name a lot of the stuff that was going on in the room. Like we were being very emotionally intelligent, and like I feel like that is like the final form of like being the pinnacle of being a man, where it's kind of like you can do all these manly things and all these things like that, but like I heard from you, everyone, Junior in the back, were about being open and being vulnerable. Now, I'm not gonna name out names, but like, like y'all know your one guy friend who's like, yeah, I just lifted 80 pounds at the gym, but when your girl asks you, could you help me do the laundry, you like, nah, I can't do that shit. And like they don't get the bigger piece, or like how that's the second shift and other things like that. But like, why do you think it's such a struggle? And like this is open ended. Why do you think it's such a struggle for like mental health with guys?
It's ingrained in our society. You literally can't change something that's been taught from our ancestors overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process. Like simple as that. It's a process. Like to say like, oh, I deal with anxiety. I actually have anxiety. When my dad passed, that's when it really hit me hard. And like to tell my fiance that like, yeah, I'm dealing with this issue. I need to talk to her real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best thing ever. You feel a sense of relief, but to keep that in and to hold on to that, why? As humans, we need that human connection. Just because I'm a man does not mean I need to. Oh no, I'm good. No, I'm not good. No, I'm not happy right now, and I can be that way because I got her next to me, encouraging me to be open with her. Because why would she want to see me suffer? Because ultimately we're a team. So when I suffer, she suffers. So trying to get my anxiety together and all that, it messes with your head sometimes, to be honest. But to open up to her about that and let her know, like, hey, yeah, I'm not feeling best right now. Hey, just give me like 5 minutes real quick. It's not you, it's just me right now. That's huge for me.
I've always been some people call me a narcissist. They wouldn't entirely be wrong. I've been a narcissist, right? And it's
I'm not laughing at you. I'm so sorry. I can see why they would say that bullshit. I hate when people. Sorry to cut you off. I hate when people say narcissist and they don't know what an actual narcissist is. I'm in the room with an actual narcissist. You're just hilarious and real. Far from it. Just go ahead.
But,
Sorry.
because like when you are loud and brash, and I'm a bigger person, so it's kind of like he's too into himself, right? And then you meet somebody who tells you like, hey, like that facade you put up front. It's just a coping mechanism for you. Like, what's really going on inside? And then you talk to him about what's going on. It's like, hey, like I deal with mild depression. There's times where like I've been in some dark places, and there's always been the fear of letting somebody know that, because if I let you know that, it's something you can either use against me, or it's a weakness you can exploit, and I can't have that. But then being able to kind of like sit down and have somebody see you break down and cry and like, hey, I'm sad because this happened. I'm worried and the anxiety hits me because I don't know how I'm going to get through this or accomplish this. And her understanding that, hey, sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning and just go on walks outside. Yeah, she's fearful because I'm a black man walking around Eugene at 3 in the morning on a Tuesday. Like, I can get arrested, I can get shot, I can do this, I can do that. But understanding that he needs that space and he needs to express that, and I'm still going to love him regardless, that's helped me fight my mental struggles. And also, like, going to see someone and getting help. Like, whenever you tell somebody, like, yo, go to therapy, they're like, oh, that's expensive. Oh, I don't need time talking to you. It's like, I'm not a therapist, man. My cup gets full, too, and I'm going to tune you out. Go get somebody who can talk to you, who can help you. Like, even being married to someone, she tells me, I'm not your therapist.
That's
Thank
facts.
you.
And I can't be your therapist.
Yeah.
So when you need to go work out what you're dealing with, let me know. Understand that I'll be here for you. But find somebody to work it out through. And then to build on to what J-Max said, that's true. Never have we taught that, hey, it's a great thing to make another person happy, even at the cost of like your own happiness. You've never been taught that, but then you fall in love and then you realize that I'm really happy doing the laundry because that means I can spend more time with her. I'm really happy making her happy because when we're both happy, oh, that feels good.
So for someone else.
Where it was like, I'm about to cook dinner tonight. I cook more than she does. So it's like, we don't have those gender roles where it's like, you do this, you do that. Like, no, I'm hungry. I'm going to cook for us. Just do some work, do your work, do your notes. But I'm about to cook. I'm about to eat. It's about to be fire.
Wow.
You ain't gotta worry about all that.
Well, I do have to, because I'm seeing some beeping going on over there on the side. I do want to make time and room for this last bit of the section. Just saying one word answers. Well, I do want to give a shout out to you, Baswato, because you got some things. I had some spicy shit for you because I listened to the very first 3 episodes. The intro, the interracial shit, the whole pity thing. Yeah. I want to talk about that, but I actually like how this conversation went, and I just wanted to shout out to another black brother doing black dope things like in our city. Like, yo, like besides one that you're trying to get your PhD and all that stuff, also check out Baz Basement. It started because, you know, back when back and forth, correct me if I'm wrong, I did my research. I'm being a good host. When you were bouncing back and forth from Haiti, right?
The podcast?
Yeah. Well, you got your love for like podcasts and radios, like.
Yeah.
See, I be paying attention.
I was like, wait a minute. You're right.
And you got your love for that, and like this is just something that you're doing because you want to be expressive. And you said it yourself, like you're proud of yourself because usually when you start something, you don't finish it. So I want to commend you because, you know, one, you're trying to be PhD, a doctor, doing dope shit, and
master's only, not getting a PhD.
But that's where you get. Oh, master's only.
Right now, I'm doing my master's.
Oh, okay,
my
my bad.
PhD's in the. I don't want to do 5 more years of school. Honestly.
Okay.
But so I'll probably stop.
Well, I want to shout that out, let him know that he's doing dope things community. This guy, he's, you know, Mr. Mysterious with the beanie on, you know, tucked low. He's doing dope things. I'm not gonna speak on his blessings just yet, but I've heard dope things. But I'll tag him and put him in there. But
quick fun fact.
Yes.
I used to hang out at his house in 1st grade.
What?
That's facts.
Yeah. So was this the friend that you got the basement idea from? That I was like, it was the playroom.
Was it? I think it was. I think it was at Nate's. It was me and Nate.
It was probably at Nate's house.
Yeah, we used to go and play like. He's a huge Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where.
This is a throwback. This is like Irvington days.
All right.
Man.
Well, I got one question for y'all. And I asked all our guests this. One word, you know, few sentences, not too long. If y'all could improve the dating culture, even though y'all are taken out, what would y'all do? What word? What sentence? How would y'all improve the dating?
I'll say it'd be the theme of this episode. Honesty. If you have honesty, you don't have anything.
All right.
I would remove social media from it.
Ooh.
Social media creates lofty expectations. There's people who think by date 3 you need to take her to Paris and have dinner on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yo, that is real right now.
Because they saw somebody on Instagram doing it. It's like, that's not true.
That's not even realistic.
Like, nobody is going to, on the first date, get a private jet and take you here. So I would just take out unrealistic expectations.
You getting a lift at Uber XL?
You can do it, Jax.
Yo, that is a bomb first date.
My first date was ice cream and a walk.
My first date was Avatar and Red Robin.
Yo,
Like, the first one was some good food and it didn't work out. She loves ice cream. Took her to ice cream. I didn't know she loved it. I just took her.
One last thing. Because I know y'all significant others gonna watch this. Y'all want to say something nice? I'm giving y'all the podium. Y'all want to say something nice? It's Valentine's Day right now. Ooh,
I mean, by that time, Valentine's Day, it'd be almost 9 years. So that's exciting. And then after that, get married May 30th. 2021. So
I'm pulling up.
I'm gonna be up in that. I mean, I'm gonna be there.
I don't care. Who knows, bro? I'll be 21, right? Her birthday's next month. We gonna turn up, and My girl knows. Like, if I come on here and say something super mushy, she's gonna laugh at me like.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not even me, honestly. I'm not that little. I'm not mushy like that.
Yeah, she'll be like, "What were you doing?" So she knows what it is, man. Like, thank you for always being a great partner. Thank you for making me innumerably a better person.
I got a one of you now.
Oh.
Yes, you do.
Brownie
No, never.
Everything you've done for me, I appreciate that.
I appreciate what you've done for him too, because I know your girl. She's good people.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's to both of our girls. Thank you for making
Yes.
both of us much better men.
Thank you.
These are strong men, and I just want to say thank y'all from our bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, thank you.
All the way over there.
Yeah,
And if you pay close attention, there's a reason why we have Pikachu with the third eye, because we deep. We go further.
Oh, that has nothing to do with Watchmen?
No. I actually got that for my birthday, and at first I was like, nah, and I was like, this is actually dope as shit.
This has been great, man. I mean, this feels like home.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, have us back.
Please, yes, I will, most definitely. But this has been the Casanova Hitch, Bob Gill himself.
Spin costs.
This has been Play No Games.
You gon' get me in some trouble, ooh, damn, you so fine, I should double you. Baby, I came here to win, ain't taking no L's, I ain't come to lose. I'm rockin' come take our songs, oh, that's your friend, she should come with you. Chase, 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 chase. On me, for me, chase, 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 chase.